and welcome to Media League Sigma 6, where characters from different media come together in one place. So, before I reach 200 videos, I did a set of videos similar to Rooster Teeth's Death Battle called Fatal Fight. It was a good idea, and having your favorite characters fight each other to the death. So we're going to do one which will have two Toa of Fire fight each other, hosted by two new guys, Ivan Steele and Rex Shotgun. Take it away. Hey guys.
Toa Tahu may be a Toa of Fire by himself, but others worn the mantle of Toa of Fire before him, creating real immortality.
Immortality, not on this show. Time to find out which Toa is the most hot-headed of them all.
While there are many Toa of Fire to choose from. Not that one, the fight will be between the two most prominent apes. Toa Vakama of the Metro Nui series.
And Toa Tahu of the classic Mononui series. He's Steel and I'm Shotgun.
And it's our job to analyze their armor, weapons and skills to find out who could win a fatal fight. In the time before time, Toa Helrix would change the Mataran world forever, creating defenders with abilities and powers so great that it mimicked the ways of a superhero. Her dream was to create a peaceful future where Mataran can live together in trust and harmony.
I want all of you out there to remember that, because right off the bat, The evil Makuta Pterodactyls had almost all the Toa vanished or killed, leaving only one Toa, and reprogrammed the Baki robots to capture Mandarin in order to take over the Motonui universe. Just the first in a lifetime of evil deeds.
To combat this threat, Toa Lakan gave 6 Mandarin Toa stones, and which made them into Toa Metru, lead by Toa Vakama.
So which Toa of Fire is Vakama? Diet Toa of Fire, Cherry Vanilla Toa of Fire, or Toa of Fire Zero?
He is one of those, sure, because the name Toa of Fire is actually a mantle passed down through individual Mandarin. To date, at least 5 of them have claimed the mantle: Norik, Lakan, Vakama, Tahu, and Yaller. Each new Toa of Fire is chosen by the Great Spirit Motonui, who seeks a worth hero who can surpass the previous Toa of Fire in skill and ability.
Yeah, so anyway, let's move on. You're boring the audience.
Oh right, Toa Vakama armor is made of strong metro-like machinery and is equipped with a disc launcher, a literal gun for firing discs.
Well, it's normal that discs fired by Mandarin aren't too deadly. He can charge his discs up for even more power and blast it through rogue Baki armor. I meant to do that because there was a fly and I got him.
Vakama also wears the mask of invisibility so he can hide from his enemies without any foe realizing where he is.
Man, this Toa has the best equipment for every advantage.
But he is also haunted by visions of the future that allow him to know what to do next, and was once mutated into a Toa Hortica, after failing to save Metru Nui and succeeded on defeating the Makuta with the aid of the other Toa, which disabled his mask power and gave him some new powers like the FL May Thrower and a Rotuka Spinner, which contains the power of fire. As he was a Mandarin, he was oftentimes clumsy. JNF wouldn't let Vakama anywhere near his camera equipment or he might break it.
Wait, that's it? No flying abilities or even a shield? Well, I guess it ain't too bad.
Well, these abilities were when Vakama failed to save the heart of Metru Nui and when got mutated into a Hortica later in life without giving in to the Hortica beast within him.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Toa Vakama is the Diet Toa of Fire.
Well, don't give the wrong impression. Toa Vakama is a strong Toa and a very wise hero. After he and the others arrived on the island of Motonui and turned into Turaga, Vakama became a legend of the Toa Metru.
Toa Lakan sacrificed his power for use. Now we shall do the same for them.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't try and pull that happily ever after crap. The city of Metru Nui wasn't saved. The Mandarin and Turaga are on an island, and the city is left in ruins because the other Toa that was in Toa Likan's team had never returned. That peaceful dream Toa Heliarex fought so hard to achieve turned out to be total bonkers, and if you think about it, it's all her fault. Love and peace are lies. Motonui is in slumber and we're all totally **%ed.
Maybe in Vakama's life as a Toa of Fire, but luckily they is another. Let's go all the way to 1,000 years later, where each Mandarin group is in 6 villages until the day Makuta threatened the Mandarin yet again.
But then thanks to this avenue Mandarin known as Takua, helped arrive in the form of the Toa Mata.
And after saving the island from Makuta's second threat known as the Borak, the Toa Mata gained an upgrade in the form of Toa Nuva, and they were led by the Toa of Fire himself, Toa Tahu Nuva.
This hothead was the most famous of the Toa because he is awesome. He is in the ranks between Optimus Prime and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Tahu Nuva is equipped with the Magma Sword, a literal blade for each hand.
Tahu is also equipped with the powerful Kenobi Bomb, the great mask of control that allows him to slow down time and takes down within seconds. Which I wish I could do whenever I hear you take boring every time the bar steals.
When was the last I went to a bar?
After saving the island of Motonui, he and the other Toa Nuva needed to truly awaken Motonui from his slumber by going to the core of the universe Motonui, plus even got themselves an upgrade to the Nuva armor that allows them to fly. Okay, seriously, what is it with Toa of Fire and the ability to fly? Toa of Fire are ground-based Toa. Flying is something they do not have.
Then at the final battle, Tahu reverted to his Toa Mata form to bear the golden armor that made him as strong as the Great Spirit, making truly a worse Toa of Fire.
Against me, nothing but steam. Hot air, as they say.
Alright, the combatants are set and we've ran the data through all possibilities.
But first, all this talk of fire has gotten me thirsty for milk to go.
And now, great moments with great YouTube heroes with JNF.
Sure, there's a lot of forms of evil in the world, but boredom is my greatest enemy. And I'll be honest, my creativity is not what it used to be. That's why I drink milk to go. It's got all the energy in there to get me right.
A girl known as Luna says that's totally cheating. Not really.
Milk, 2, go the optical beverage of Media League Sigma 6.
But right now, it's time for a fatal fight.
Toa Tahu wins.
Flawless victory.
Fatality. Well, that's one way to become a leader.
There was a lot going on here. Both Tahu and Vakama showed similar reaction speed with only a slight % difference when compared to the speed of light, and their fire power seemed pretty comparable overall.
But Tahu did have a leg up with a few extra moves, like how he can switch masks for maneuverable ability and can use each different forms of fire to give him the edge. That's something Toa Vakama never had to guard against before. Also, remember when Toa Vakama gave into the Hortica Beast in Web of Shadows?
And darker side of Vakama's past, to be sure, but let's take a closer look at the face-off with the Raksha Tahu had, based of the poison scar from Larak and getting overpowered by rage from Karak. We can determine that Tahu's rage aura must have the equivalent of 90 feet 000 joules of energy. That's 80,000 times greater than Toa Vakama's dark side.
Now you might be asking, what about that Mask of Time? Shouldn't Vakama use that since he was the one who created it?
Sure, running a few fights over and over again, Toa Vakama could indeed score a few victories, but Vakama had not experiences when using the Mask of Time, but Tahu did. Not to mention Tahu also used a massive amount of power in the form of the golden armor.
And dropping a fire nuke on Toa Vakama was way more epic than trying to hit Tahu with a beast form, and this is what it really goes down to.
You see, the Hortica form draws his power from the beast, and Toa Vakama gained his power from that of his predecessor Toa Lakan, but Tahu and the golden armor has the power of both Mata Nui and an interior universe.
Except the golden armor had way more juice to give.
Try thinking of the power of fire and the golden armor as simply sonic power-ups that fuel Toa Vakama and Toa Tahu's abilities. To simply put, Toa Vakama would draw power from something like a power, while Tahu is more in tune to a Chaos Emerald.
Steal. I'll give you $5 to lick that Chaos Emerald.
Toa Vakama may have had his start as a Toa and had the right skills, but the Toa Nuva more powerful arsenal proved to make Tahu a better hothead and the most courageous Toa of fire.
Looks like Toa Vakama's flame got burned out.
The winner is Toa Tahu.
Well, that's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. Next time we'll be visiting an old place that still haunts Vanright's dreams from when he was invited to a dinner party. That's right. We're going back to the murder house. But until then, this has been Media League Sigma 6.